And attention all week has been on Maui, and the fires are fueled from the winds from a passing typhoon.
Yes.
A legendary typhoon at this point.
A legendary is too. Before we get into that, just 1 second, we'll get to Dora, because Dora has made some history on there. If they get the graphics coming up, they don't have it right now. There we go. The hurricane season, they have changed this for the Atlantic side now. They upped it from May to August. It's been a battle between El Nino and the impressive ocean heat content right now. So the numbers have come up a little bit, although as you see so far this season, it's been pretty close to where we should be too. 4 named storms, there's 1 unnamed storm too, and then 1 Hurricane Don was the one that we had there too. Now you talked about Dora. There's your storms that we've had so far in the Atlantic. Nothing is active right now. A couple of them there, and there's Don that went way up to the north. He was the only hurricane so far. Pacific, Fernando is 1. I'm out there too, although I'm just a tropical storm right now.
Well, yeah, you're diminishing.
Yeah, I'm pretty much not going to do anything anymore, so goodbye me. And then Dora, that line that you watched, this is Dora coming across the international date line. That where it was, where it switched from the Pacific, from the Hurricane Center to now it's being, I think Japan and a Joint Typhoon Warning Center is warning on it. That is where it is right now. It traveled about over 10,000 miles, crossed the international date line. I think it's the longest Category 4 on record in the Pacific side. Only, I think, John, if I remember right, look at one of my notes here on this. John in 1994 was the only one that crossed the international date line. So it went from a hurricane to a typhoon.
But this was nowhere near Hawaii. It was just the winds.
No, it was the winds coming across. And when you had downsloping winds off the mountains, it dries, it compresses the air. So that's how you can get the strong winds, but also where you can get dryness. They also, I think, have a invasive species over there, kind of like cheatgrass out west. It dries quickly, and once it burns fast and hot.
And those winds just came right down the mountain.
They came down, and it was just a compression, kind of like a Chinook type feel when you get out west too. But that's kind of how it did. But yeah, Dora's been, as we said, exploring the Pacific, if you know Dora the Explorer. So
the Hurricane Center upped the number because the water is so warm?
Yes, and it's been competing. Early in the season, they didn't see that number as much. They were kind of going based off El Nino conditions, which right now it's been fairly strong El Nino, right? But now they have upped them a little bit. But so far, the start has been pretty average right now.
Because El Nino sort of cuts hurricanes off, doesn't it?
Yes, it suppresses the activity, increased shear, but we've also had quite a bit of a Sahara dust coming off the African coast too, and that's actually kept them at bay too. But we'll see. Once again, this forecast does not say if they make landfall or not. It's only that they're out there. So you could have a lot, and you could have none make landfall, or you could have like 1 Hurricane Andrew and destroy a whole area. So
yeah, it's interesting to see all the ripple effects and how it starts in one place and then can carry
go
over.
And I didn't get to finish, but I mean those you have, obviously they get typhoons when they get out the west, and then as they go further west they become cyclones when they get to Indy and in the area. So there's actual forecast centers that forecast that all the way out to like Madagascar, and even Australia has that stuff.
So it's just different names.
Different names. Unfortunately, it does keep the name when it crosses the international date line. They're not going to confuse it, but they have a different set of names for typhoons and cyclones and all that stuff.
All right.
So
has there been a Greg before?
Not that I know of. It hasn't been retired, obviously, so it hasn't been that impressive in the Pacific side, because they usually will retire it if it's done a lot of damage or it's pretty strong.
Right, exactly.
But I'm looking pretty meager, and I'll probably be gone here in a few days. So.
I'm not sure there'll be a Hurricane Brady. It just doesn't...
I'm enough of a hurricane in person.
You're a force.
Yeah.
A force of nature.
We don't need another one.
Greg, thank you.